always felt like my vision lived bigger than a bigger picture. Crazy how you gotta wait until it's dark out to see who really with you. Crazy how even when it miss you, shit'll come back around and get you. Crazy like all my niggas. Crazy like all my niggas. Yeah. Remember I deleted all my other girls' numbers out the phone for you. Remember when you had to take the bar exam, I drove in the snow for you. Yeah, you probably don't remember half the shit a nigga did for you. Yeah, you ain't really fuck with me way back then, but how about now? Cause I'm up right now. And you suck right now. Oh, you thought you had it all figured out back then, but how about now? Cause I'm up.
Hello. Mic check
Hello.
1 2 1 2.
Mic check.
We're back, right?
Hi, you guys. Buenos dias.
So, I was gonna say happy birthday, but
A little too early, no?
good morning. Because it's morning on your end, it's afternoon on my end. But yeah, we're happy to be back. It's your girl Artisha Sparkle.
Jazmin
And
Lauren.
you like what you see, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter and all that fun stuff. I don't know about TikTok, but we'll talk about that later. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Jazz, introduce yourself.
So it's Jazmin Lauren. Let me put my phone on silent because life gets annoying. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Jazmin Lauren, and we'll get back to the TikTok since that's questionable at the moment. But other than that, everything is on Jazmin Lauren. Yeah, follow me on there.
So, girl, today we decided to talk about what?
Well, since we keep on referencing the TikTok, I think we should bring that up. So,
First. Okay.
So TikTok is apparently having a ban. Apparently they voted 50-0, I think, to ban TikTok from, I don't know if it's going to be US only or if it's around the world. And I don't know exactly the reason.
It's US only.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel? Because you love TikTok. I don't really rock with TikTok like that. So
I feel like why? I know they have mentioned before that it was like compromising a lot of people's information, but I don't know. Like I feel like it's good and it's not, because I feel like, first of all, everything I want to buy, if it goes viral on TikTok, then it's sold out. So that's kind of upsetting to me. But so for my own reasons. But I think TikTok is a good platform, but I feel like so many kids are doing trends and challenges because they see it on TikTok, and it's causing a lot of like stupidity, to be honest. But that's any app. But it just seems like everyone is like, such and such happened because of the TikTok challenge. So I think TikTok gets blamed for a lot of the stuff that is going on, negative stuff that's going on.
So what it is more political than that. And just like Mark Zuckerberg, make sure I got the names right, for Facebook, he owns Meta World, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook. It's like what he don't own at this point. When somebody has a business in the tech informational world, they hold a lot of data, and data is power. So just to even bring it back, as I remember a long time ago, I'm on Facebook and I'm like seeing the little categories. It's like your favorite movies and your favorite books to read. And I'm reading and I'm like, oh, forgot that Friday is one of my favorite movies. And I was like, wait, how does Facebook knows more about me than me?
Ooh,
creepy. Hold up. Soundbite.
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
I don't like
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Hold on. Every time we trying to do a podcast, my gardener's like, you know what? Let me go mow some grass. Do you hear it?
Girl.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one.
Why
Because when you're trying to do greatness or something, it feels like in the midst today, well, not today, yesterday, the whole week it was quiet. All of a sudden, they picked this beautiful Friday to make noise
Correct.
outside. And I was like, hope y'all don't hear anything, but I
Well, if you
apologize
hear any
in
rumbling,
advance.
it's
If
my
y'all
weed whacker.
do. Huh? What you say?
I said, if you hear anything in my background, it's the weed whacker.
Yeah, they out today. Let's just say that. So excuse our background noises.
Yeah.
But
Please.
anyway, back to TikTok. Yeah, so they hold too much information. Like that's power, that's control. And they have even from locations, from everything that they can have on the data. And TikTok is owned by what the China?
China. It's a China
Yes.
company. Yeah.
Right. So a whole nother country has more data on another country. That ain't good.
That's what they were saying, that it was compromising a lot of information because of that.
Absolutely. So I can definitely understand that standpoint. Other people is more like it's social media, da da da. And it's like, baby, y'all don't understand the power of social media. They can, like somebody made in a post and it was like that over there in their country, their algorithm is different than ours. They show peaceful, beautiful things, positive things. But then over here in America, our algorithm is nonsense. Like
Yeah.
they don't show them half of what they show us. So, that could determine elections that had happened, prior before
Hmm.
on Facebook. So they don't want things like that. They could overthrow a country. They can subliminally put things out there and choose
Wow.
whatever and how.
Take
Yeah.
over?
Huh?
So they can take over?
Yeah, pretty
Oh,
much. They will have every information that they need because they
wow.
know each and every one of their users. They know where they at. They
What
got
they
their
do.
whole data, email, phone. Pretty much, they so desperate for TikTok that if TikTok say, "Hey, put in your social," at this point, oh yes, let me put in my social so I won't leave my account. So they got all that information
Right.
on us, and other countries don't allow other countries to have or use social media apps.
That makes
And
sense.
so, yeah, the US is like, yeah, no.
Yeah, they're like, no. But the
So,
US is like, only we can have the information that y'all want. I get it because we live
yeah,
here. But then again,
hmm
it's the same concept in a sense. You know what I mean?
basically.
So it's all about control at the end of the day, I would assume.
It is, because they can set the world on fire, baby.
It's already on fire.
I mean, even worse. So I totally understand from that standpoint. Me personally, I'm not really a TikToker. I'm not a TikTok girl.
Yeah. Well, what's gonna
Um,
happen to the TikTok, what is it called? Oh, I'm famous on TikTok. That generation of people that take it as it's a celebrity thing. Like, yeah, I'm famous on TikTok, or I'm an influencer on TikTok. Now what happens? Their world is the one that's gonna come crashing down.
Absolutely. So that's why they're fighting hard. I mean, I get it because they're like, yo, this is how I make money. This is, mind you, people left like YouTube, Instagram, Twitters, wherever you name it, to go on TikTok when it was thriving. Remember, me and you talked
Right.
about this, like hopping on a new app because it's thriving. But if there's no longevity within that app, do you
Right.
have any backup? And that's what, first of all, with any social media.
I guess everybody gonna have to get that 9 to 5, which is what they want anyway.
Oh,
You know, why raise a bunch of independent people to think for themselves and be free when they can just raise a bunch of people to work for them, to run stuff, and not run stuff, but to work for the people that are running the big things.
it's interesting. I didn't know it could get that deep.
It could get deeper. It's a rabbit hole. I'm not going in there though.
So it's like, hey, YouTube.
Hey, big head. You know, I think we're frozen, aren't we? Or is it my internet?
I don't. Yeah, yours look like it's frozen because
Great.
mine's. Can you still see me moving?
Nope.
No.
Wow, so
Ew,
the internet
no.
over here has really been just crazy and
Okay,
since
so
our
I'm gonna remove you, and then you come back in. Okay.
okay.
All right. All right. Not ban her. Kick from studio.
Technical difficulties, people.
Yeah, it's still frozen.
Let me see if I can refresh.
Yeah, and can you leave? Because it says from studio, and I'm like, that don't sound nice.
I try to I try to leave from the studio and it's like completely frozen.
Ew. I guess let me try kick because I removed you from. Okay, let me try kick. Hopefully that ain't nothing
Yeah,
too
it won't let
crazy.
me click.
And then click on the link to come back in.
It won't let me click. It won't let me get out of this window.
So it's your computer that's frozen.
Computer. Yeah,
So,
I would have to. Let me see. Hold on.
mhm. I mean, that's the funniest thing. We can still hear you.
Yeah. Okay. So we're doing a podcast without my face today, so it's fine.
Basically. So it's up to you. If you want me to kick you from there and you come back in.
Well, I clicked some buttons and it's frozen, so I'm pretty sure it's only a matter of time until it picks up and then it just kicks me out. So until then, we can keep going. So we were saying, I'm sorry.
Okay. So just TikTok. I'm trying to remember exactly what it is. We say, hey YouTube, and then this happened. So
Oh my God. Wait, what are we saying? I was like, wait.
now you back. The
I'm back.
power of patience.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
it's starting to do it again. Okay. There you go.
Do you have like a storm or something out there? Maybe that's what it is
Girl,
too.
no, it's sunny and they cutting grass. They can't cut grass in a storm.
Oh yeah, you just said
Oh,
that
you
they
know the
cutting
Mexicans,
grass.
they'll cut grass in anything. They don't care. They're workers. They like to work. They're like, you know what I mean? They would love to work.
Right.
They'd be like, what? Storm, no problem. That's why I love Mexicans. I'm gonna move to Mexico one day. That's my Puerto Rican living in Mexico.
Ash, I got a favor for you, so remind me to hit you up later after this. Right. So yeah, is that enough for TikTok? I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, let's move it forward.
moving forward.
Okay, so I want you to tell me the story about the lady before we get into our
Ooh.
whole 7-year friendship breakup. But I'm interested and eager about the story with the lady open relationship. It's
So
story time.
I kind of got a little permission from her because when I was talking to her, someone else came to talk to me about something, and I was at a grocery store, and
Mm-hmm.
she said, you can tell her. And I was like, no, I'm not going to tell her your business. This is crazy. So I want to know. I'm not going to, say
Mm-hmm.
names or anything, but she had mentioned to me about an open relationship with her and her husband. They've been together for about 25 years.
I want you
And
to join in.
what?
Oh,
No. You know what?
oh.
Who knows if she wanted me to lean in towards that? Huh? But the thing, there's like, no. What would she want me to lean into though? Because she told me that her husband has never been able to get a wood ever in their whole relationship, that he's never been able to get like wood, right? And I don't mean the wood from outside like Paul Bunyan, all right? I mean like the regular wood. Well, the man would. And so she said that when they got together that he was never able to get his wood. And she said she was, huh?
How old are they?
She told me she's 63, but she looks amazing. Her body's great. She looks amazing. She's young. She's youthful. And so, but when they first got together 25 years ago, he was never able to get a wood. And she said she was seeing a therapist at the time, and she told her that man's not going to change. He's not into, because he would not initiate. And she was like, oh, he's going to change. It's like takes the right woman, da da da. And her therapist told her, look, he's not going to change. That's who he is. That's how he is. If he's not into wood growing, then it's not going to grow wood, So she said, so she stayed with him. And I was thinking like, maybe it's because he has a little bit of, maybe the guy's successful and has, stability in that option. But, I don't know. So then she says that they got together, they got married after dating for so long, and they have 2 kids. And I was like, okay, so how did that happen? And she said she had to get IVF for her kids because he doesn't get wood. and he doesn't want to get wood. And she says he doesn't want to get anything done to fix that problem. So she told me he just found out that he has something wrong with his prostate. You know, I wish him the best on that.
So I was gonna say it sounds more like health issues.
Right, but this
Usually
prostate just happened as of last week.
it was in the process.
25 years?
Because why would you? I think because we need to educate ourselves,
Yeah.
you know, in all departments.
Yeah.
And I was just watching a video on it, and obviously it's a part of our hormones and it's natural. It's, you know, it's almost
Right.
law. And so when you have issues in that area, there's something else going on, and most likely it's health wise.
Or it could be ED.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what it is, because if you have that, then there's something else going on.
Even ED, that comes from it can come from high sugar too, diabetes. It
Well,
can come
that's health.
from
Yeah.
health issues, of course. So I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she said that they just found something last week, and she said it wasn't like nothing. It was on the outside of his prostate, so he still has an opportunity to be well. The only thing is that they're probably going to have to remove his prostate. And I'm like, well, if this can, I said, what can he not do without a prostate for him to think of getting removed or not? And she said that he will not be able to get a hard on. I said, well, he hasn't been getting a hard on anyway, so what's the difference? You know what I mean? So she said they're going to most likely get it taken out. But moving forward, she said in the meantime, her and her husband decided to open up their marriage after 25 years. And they both joined Ashley Madison website. Now, I don't know what Ashley Madison is. I've never heard of it. I don't even know who Ashley is. Yeah, you can, because I don't even know who this is.
Ashley is a freak. It's like, no.
She said that she met a guy on there. And he you know, replaces the husband for the moment. So, but she also mentioned that his wood is more of a twig. And I said, so you leave one man that can't give you the full-on stump for one that gives you a branch? I don't get it. You know, like
Thing.
And she says, no, but it feels good. It feels like a finger. And I'm like, oh, yes, girl. That's what she told me. That's what she told me. And I said, so you get it with a man to get with a finger? Like, it doesn't make any sense for me, right? So she also says she's dating 4 other guys, and then she goes home and just tells her husband about her day and her dates and the sex part, and he's just like, oh, wow, honey, that's great. And I'm like, wow, I don't know how I would feel about that. That's like really weird. And they're still together. They're happily married, but not that happy. She's happier than him at this point with 4 guys.
I always say I stay out of other people's relationships because do what works best for you, what makes you happy.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It is. And
I was just trying to buy bread and eggs, and I walked out with this knowledge. That's what I was just trying to buy.
Oh, no. Because I was going to say, what made her want to tell you?
I don't know. We were in aisle 10, the cleaning aisle. And I'm like, how this happened? And I got stuck there, but I was intrigued. So I opened my bag of chips that I had grabbed off the floor. I'm just like, tell me more. Tell me more. Exactly. I'm like, wait, tell me more. And then she's like, I'm going to have my first moreno ever, because she's been married for so long. And then this moreno passes by. So she's like, and he's looking at her like, that ain't going to be me. You know what I mean? So she was nice. She was really nice.
She's a freak. Cool. And I don't mean that in like a freak or weirdo, but yeah. Miss young lady gets her freak on.
I love it for her though. She seems very happy.
If they're happy and he's happy, I don't know the full dynamic of their whole entire relationship history. So I'm only hearing bits and pieces of what's being told. So I can't really judge on in or that whole situation. But
I'm not judging. I think it's a splendid idea for her situation. I think she looks very happy, and I love that for her, because why be with somebody for 25 years and not feel happy? So now she feels alive. And I was like, it's almost like Sex in the City, but just you by yourself without friends doing it with you, So I think I admire it for her. Good for her. She's
We'll
happy.
move to the story.
Yeah.
I want the husband perspective.
Oh yeah, let's get him on. Let's ask
Yeah.
him if he's on the
Oh,
phone.
there we go.
Oh
um.
man.
So moving past that, I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to say about that.
No, 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 no.
Okay. So moving past that, let's talk about our 7-year friendship breakup.
My favorite story.
Your favorite.
Yeah. My favorite story. You go ahead and tell them your part and I'll go and tell them mine.
All right. So me and Jazz, actually, my mother introduced us. This was what,
Many, many moons ago.
2009, I think.
Was it 2009?
It was about 2009. It has to be. Yeah, because I had my magazine. I think I was going to Cali for my
Birthday.
birthday. I don't know if it was 24th or 25th. I don't know. Telling too much of my age. But
Girl, you lying. You was like 19, but go ahead.
right. But yeah, so go in a little shop, get my nails done. You and my mom tell them that story. Because you actually met my mother first.
Ah, I was getting my toes done, and I was sitting next to this amazing lady that had such a big personality, and that was your mom. And I was saying something. It was just funny that she was cracking up the whole time because they brought out in New York. You know, them Asian people, they use all types of tools from Home Depot to do your feet. So they brought out this like sandpaper one. It was like,
They bring out all the works.
yeah, they come bring that red box that they have at Home Depot, dragged it out. Huh? And that's what your mom was like. She was like, huh? She was like, who's that for? She's like, oh,
What
Nah,
the
yeah, actually, right.
hell? Oh my God, no way.
And I was like, damn, what is that for? And the lady was like, oh, to sand down the dry skin. You know, she was telling your mom was like, I don't need that, girl. Take that away from here. So anyway, so we're like laughing about it. And I was telling her how I had a dream of like living in Cali and, you know, wanted to always live there and how I was doing modeling at the time. I wanted to get into it. And your mom said, oh, you should meet up with my daughter. And I said, is she here? And she said, yeah, she's drying her nails over there on the other side. So when I got done my feet, I go over to this charming little person because we're so
Aw.
small. And I'm like, are you Artisha? And you turn around, I was like, uh-huh. And I was like, oh, your mom told me you can, you know, give your my number because you have a magazine. And you're like, oh yeah, sure. And he gave me your number, and ever since then, it was history from there.
Further into details.
Yeah.
So it was my birthday because I was flying out to go to Cali. So yeah, we was in New York, flying out to go to Cali. I think that next day.
Yeah.
And you know, when we exchanged numbers, I'm like, oh, energy in her vibe, she seems really cool. Would I ever hear from her again?
Probably
No.
not.
Probably not, yeah. And I think that the same night or something, you might have texted me, and I was like, oh, is she hanging on?
Yeah.
And then the next day, while I was inside of the airport, you call and was like, where you at? And was talking to me like we known each other for years.
I
And was
know.
just talking about everything. It's like, that's cool, you're going to Cabo. And I was like, wow, she made the conversation really comfortable. Like,
Aw.
and she even remembered the call. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Then the next probably following day was my birthday. And I remember, did you call or text?
I called you and said happy birthday.
Yes. And I was like, oh no, this is my kind of girl. Because when somebody remember birthdays, I'm big on birthdays.
Yep.
She remembered my birthday. And I was
Mhm.
like, wow. And then from then on, it was up. And one thing I always say about you, Jazz, I'm like, you're very persistent.
Very.
Don't let that get away from you at all. Me, I'm the type of person, I'm like, oh, if they reach out, they reach out. It is what it is.
Right.
But you are like, yo, like, you good? Even up to now. So after
Yep.
that, I mean, we pretty much did everything together. And we'll save all our fun stories for another day.
Right.
But to get back into the whole 7-year friendship breakup.
Yeah.
7 years.
7 years, you guys.
And I can't really say like what specifically happened, like why we stopped calling or, texting and didn't keep in contact. But, I was busy with my life, you was busy with your life. And what was it last month you hit me up?
Yeah, it was last month. I reached out. After how many? It was 7 years without talking to each other, right?
No, actually, Rissa name died. And I messaged because I was like, dang, because we knew so many people. And I was
Right.
like, dang. So I was like, let me DM her. I think I
Oh
DM'd you on
yeah,
Insta when he passed.
yeah.
And so we, talked, I think on the phone
For like that day, and then
for that
that's it.
day.
And
And
that
that
was
was
like
it.
7 months ago, I would say.
That was 7 months
It
ago.
was like it's 7 and 7, as you noticed, 7 and 7. It was like 7 months ago.
Wow.
I think what happened was nothing in particular happened. I just feel like I actually got that dream that I said I wanted to do and live in California. I've been here for a long time, all the way too long. And I
Mhm.
feel like life here is just different. The time frame, the energy is just different here compared to like the East Coast and stuff like that. And it's draining out here. Even though East Coast is like more of high energy, here is
Mhm.
very draining because there's so
More
much that you have
relaxed.
to do. It's really more relaxed, but it's draining. You know what I mean? Like, and I just
Mhm.
feel like with all the little businesses that I have and all the jobs that I have, like working for myself, it's kind of like a mental toll that I that I have on myself. And it's like nothing happened between us. I just felt like our time schedule started to conflict. And then,
Mhm.
I was doing a lot of things that I was not happy with at the time, like with money, like I was trying to work jobs and do everything. This is when I first got here. And then I was living with people that I didn't want to live with and
Mhm.
roommates and stuff like that. And it was just like a lot of time consuming to kind of like get to the point where I have my own place and where I can finally bunker down and say, you know what, I'm open now to be myself, because I couldn't be myself for so long because I was like
Mm.
everywhere, and I felt like I was dragging a lot of people with me with just all the drama that was just happening at the time. You know what I mean? And I just don't like to,
Mm.
they say misery likes company, and I don't like to be miserable and add people in my stuff. And
Was
that
it
was
subliminally you kind of like blocked out?
kind of like, yeah, because I don't want to bring somebody in with that. And then I just felt like, I was just like, I just felt like it at the time when we first met years ago, we both had the same mindset. We both had a vision of what we
Mm-hmm.
wanted to do when we were doing that. And then as time
Mm-hmm.
went on, you have your things that a lot of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And then I have a lot of handful of stuff because we both own little businesses. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just owning businesses or being 1099 or whatever it is that you have, you know,
It's a
it's
lot of work.
yeah, it's different from
Entrepreneurship
having
ain't
a regular
easy.
job. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, because you
that's a
have to take care of
14 hours work.
everything on your own.
Yeah, so I
And
have to be tunnel vision, like no
right,
distraction, and that took a long time.
right, because we had to kind of put it on the back burner of what we originally wanted to do with our lives to take care of what we already have in front of us. And it's already a lot. So I just feel like with time, we just took a break without even mentioning to each other. But because we've known each other so long, no one took offense. We didn't take it as a beef or anything. We just took it as, okay, we need some space. And it just so happened that space expanded to 7 years. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
because like you said, everybody went in their own direction. And at that time, when we linked up together, we had the magazine.
Right.
So, that was keeping us in the loop. Oh, interview this person, interview that person. This is what we're doing today. And then from then, it went to media queens and social media and all of that. So it's like, oh, we got to be on this with celebrity topic. Well, you actually started out with modeling and acting, right? That's what you had originally wanted to do, modeling, acting. I was
Yeah.
doing the magazine, and then we would combine everything together.
Right.
And then after a certain amount of years, things change. Like I think that's when it starts to go in like influencer world. So it just shifted, for us. But
Um, it was
now I feel like, mm-hmm,
right. It was just a lot of things changed in such a short period of time.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
And then our attention span had to focus on what was putting bread on the table for the day. So it's like we had to put everything else as like, oh, we'll just work on it tomorrow. And then because social media works so fast, one day it's Wendy Williams, next day it's J-Lo, next day is like, it was so much to keep up with. And by the
It was
time
a
we,
lot.
by the time we
I
would get
remember our schedules, even on Media Queens for Instagram. You know, I think I will be up here earlier than you, so I will post like that 8 a.m. post, and
yeah,
then about time like 3 hours, then you will wake up and then post, and then after that, then I would do the afternoon post, and then you do your afternoon post, and then the nighttime post. Like it was like clockwork.
it was, and then the thing is like at the time we were trying to do our jobs, we were going to school, college, and all that stuff,
Hmm.
and studying and doing that thing and working. So it was just like, oh heck no, we have to put something aside until
Hmm.
we are a little
Hmm.
bit more situated where we're at, and then we can continue from there.
Hmm. And we was already on YouTube already. Like you guys could go put Media Queens in and see that,
Yep.
we've been was doing this. But I feel like everything happens for a reason, and I just have to trust and, have that faith that everything would work out. Like,
Um,
because even how we met, that was by faith. It wasn't,
right.
oh no, you from a friend of a friend. So
Right.
you can see that
Right.
happening. No. Mm.
Right. And then when I called you last week, text you last month, I was like, hey
Hmm.
girl, what's up? Like it never, like
Like,
7 years didn't just go past.
right.
And I was like, hey, so what you been up to? And you were like, girl, are you sitting down? I was like, I'll sit down right now. And it was like we caught each other up, and then
Yeah.
and now it's like it never stops.
Like it never stopped. I'm like, hey, you want to get back into the acting?
Yeah.
Like get back to social media? Like,
Yeah.
hey, why not? But during that time frame, did you ever think that we was gonna be friends again?
Um, I always knew that at the end of the day, like you're a very open person, open-minded person to an extent, and I just felt like there was no beef. So I was like, why
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't we be friends? And I said, so when I hit her up, because you kept coming up in my mind, I kept talking about you all the time, and I'm like, why do I keep bringing her up? I was like, maybe she needs me, or maybe she's, something tell me to contact her. So then I contacted you, and I just didn't feel. I felt as though you're a very straightforward person. So if you weren't interested in having that friendship again, you would have just not continued with the calls. You're not persistent like me. I'd be like, hello, did you see the text message I
So
sent you?
Jazz, do you like rejection? You're not scared of rejection, basically. That's cool.
No.
Because a lot of people is. A lot of people will be like,
Nope.
if I hit them up or text them, would they, act funny or, but like
I'm
you
not
said, that
sure.
was open.
What
So
did I do? Go cry in the car? You know what? My friend Angel, and I was telling you this yesterday. The two
go
quotes that
cry to
stayed in
call.
my life was "You never know." That was
Mm-hmm.
and the other one was "Fuck it," and that was from Angel. Because I remember at this time I was like, "Oh, I have to hit somebody up, but what if they don't respond?" He was like, "Well, then fuck it," and I was like, "Yeah, that's true. I just fuck it." And ever since then, girl, I don't give a shit about nothing.
You don't care.
Nope.
So
No.
any advice for anybody that, maybe have a friend or a best friend that they haven't spoke to in a long time and they scared to hit them up or
I feel like sometimes you just gotta be like, look, let bygones be bygones and just
mm-hmm.
move forward. And if
Mm-hmm.
and if the chemistry is still there as far as like friendship, then it's gonna continue. If not, you give it a shot, you try it, and it just isn't. You outgrow each other. That's okay to outgrow people. Not
It's
everybody's
okay.
in life forever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not
Mm-hmm.
everybody. Some people come in your life, and I'm really big on this. Some people come in your life. You'll meet somebody when you're at the lowest part of your life, and you meet this person that's vibrant and fun, and they take you out, and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm alive again." And once you feel alive again, that person has to move, or
Yeah.
they got a
Yeah.
man and a husband, so now they got a family, and you're like, "What happened
Mm-hmm.
to my friendship?" It wasn't that they don't want to. They're not supposed to be in your life forever, because it was that they came to like it's like a calling that they had, but they didn't realize it was. You know what I mean? They came to
Mm-hmm.
help you build,
Mm-hmm.
and once that mission was over, now you're ready to hit the world and keep going. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
not fair
Mm-hmm.
for everybody.
And I feel like too, if y'all had a great chemistry already, and that's what me and Jazz had, we had amazing chemistry. We are like, I feel like in so many different
Oh
ways.
gosh, yes.
So, it just was natural to
Mhm.
start all over or start, you hit me up and it's like, oh, feel like we've been talking forever. Like the
Right.
7 years didn't even exist at this point. Um, but like I said, with you being very persistent, that helps out a lot too.
Yeah, I'm very
Mhm.
persistent because I don't. What do you have to lose?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like your
Mhm.
dignity and stuff like that for what? Because she was like, "Hey, girl, what's up? How are you?" And you're like, She better not think that we gonna be friends again." And then you don't respond, and that's it. I'm like, "Oh, okay. Hello, did you see my message?"
Yeah.
And then you be like, She just texted me again. I'm like, "Oh, she didn't answer anything." Yo, I text you. Hello, did you see my text? Or I'll leave a voicemail, and I'll keep bugging you until you pick up that damn.
And I always tell this story, and it's so funny because not what it was, but I'm like, hey, maybe I was working on a magazine or whatever, and I'm like, don't hit me up unless it's like emergency. And I
Emergency.
remember he was like, oh, see, emergency. I'm like, oh my God. Hello? Yeah, what happened? You like, girl, emergency, red or the blue shoes. And I'm like,
I remember that.
give me the picture, Jack.
You were so annoyed with me on so many occasions, but you love me, so you're like,
Yes, I'm
"You
like,
just
send me the
sad."
picture. And I'm like, get the blue one.
I remember that was like emergency, help, emergency. And you're like, "Girl, what happened?" I was like, "Black or the blue."
Say, emergency, emergency, girl. I'm like, oh shoot, what's going on? What's going on? You're like, oh, red or the blue shoes. I was like,
That's so funny. And I know you were like irritated, but at some point you gotta like chuckle and be like, "Fucking Jasmine,
nah,
yo,
I
I
always
swear
tell
to
that
God."
story. I'm like, that is hilarious. I forgot what it was. I'm like, don't
I think I was
call.
going to an event.
Was that even?
Maybe I was going to an event or I was buying them. Had to be one of the two
No,
situations.
you was out shopping. I think
Okay,
you was out shopping. Yeah. And I think either maybe I was studying for school
yeah.
or doing a magazine or something. I said, this girl. It's so hilarious. I tell everyone that story.
Yeah.
But we always had good times and
What do they
laugh.
say when you tell them?
Huh?
What do they
They
say when you tell them?
crack up.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yes,
We have
like
so many memories. Like we can write a freaking book. But I think forget writing the book. We can just talk about it on here because there's so many memories. It really warms my heart when I talk
you
about
know.
all the good stuff.
So, and we was talking about, the past because we had so much youth back then and we was fearful and
Mhm.
it was just amazing time out in Cali and
Yeah.
just
New
and
York.
we were trying to get signed by Rock Nation. So we
Yep.
took pictures in front of the Rock Nation building.
We were
And it
there
was
all
just
night. Security was like, "What are these girls doing here?"
it was a black girl. She was like, and we was like taking pictures.
We're
We're
like,
gonna
"Yeah,
we're manifesting. We get signed. We had no clue why we was getting signed to Rock Nation. We
yep."
just was gonna get
We just
signed.
didn't even have no reason,
No
nothing
reason. We
to
said,
bring to the
where's the Rock
table.
Nation headquarters? And we Google it up, went out there and was like, yeah, we taking pictures. We manifesting. And
Yep,
we was
I'm
like,
trying to
okay.
find the pictures, but I couldn't find them.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up some of the pictures. Let me see. But yeah, we had some really, really good times, fun
We did.
times.
We
And
went to Vegas, we went to New York, and
I forgot
we just
about Vegas.
yeah, Atlantic City. We were who was it with Mike the Situation? It was his
But
manager
you
at the
know
time.
what? What's so funny is because, believe it or not, like we never lived in the same state.
Never.
Probably, and I could probably count on my fingers of how many times I actually seen you in
Met him.
person.
Yep. That's what I'm trying to tell you. People don't realize our friendship, best friends, all these years, over like 3 centuries of friendship. You stayed at my house once. We've
Twice,
met
right?
on, yeah,
I think
no,
it's once,
twice.
twice.
Once.
Okay, okay.
Whichever. It was like, no,
All I
you
know, you made me some banging breakfast, and I was happy and greedy.
I
Yeah.
remember, you know what I admire though about you
Uh
and
huh.
your parents, because your parents always believed in everything that you ever wanted. And I thought that was so beautiful because we would go to
Mm-hmm.
places together and your dad would be like, my daughter, she owns a magazine. Can we get a picture? Can we get you holding this? And da da da. And the way he believed in you and the way he constantly did everything he can to help you with your dreams. I thought that I still think that's so beautiful. Like you have amazing
Parents are like my number one supporters when I had my magazine,
yeah.
and any and everywhere that I would go. Let's talk about
There
this
it
night.
is. Oh, we went to the club. That's the guy from oh my god.
Mr. Rock Nation. I mean Rock Nation, Live Nation.
Live Nation.
We were a trip. And
We didn't even know what we were manifesting. We were just like sitting out there. We're gonna get them to hire us. But we don't know what reason, but we're gonna get them. Oh my gosh.
like
No.
but yeah, they really invest in and supported any and everything that I did I never forget I woke up one day and I was like, I want to do a magazine. And they was like, oh, and I was like, oh,
that's it.
And we traveled and they took me so many places, had my back 100%.
Wow.
And so that's why when now the business that we in now, we have a restaurant.
Right.
And that's one of my mom's passions. So I follow up. That's why I'm 10 toes down. Like they stood up for me and support me. Now I'm turning that favor. And everybody like, you don't want to be, in a restaurant business. And I'm like, not really, but it's bigger than me. It's not necessarily like, a restaurant business, my mother's passion, and we got each other's back. So yes.
Yeah,
But,
you guys are very tight knit, and it's beautiful. You don't really see that dedication with parents with their kids. Hell, they just drop them off at daycare, and they're like, "I'll pick you up at 7." When you get home,
dream,
go to sleep.
You better finance that dream.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're blocking. Like it is what it is. But yeah, I love. Shout out to my parents.
Yeah, shout out to your parents.
Oh, but yeah, we have so many stories. But we wanted to discuss about the whole 7-year friendship breakup.
And not living in the same place. Friendship. We are best friends via phone. And I mean, we used to talk in the phone every single day, all day. And it wasn't just about the birds and bees. It was literally about business. We were like, you were beyond your years, ahead of your time. We both at some point, but when I met you, I was like, damn, this girl is 19 in a 55-year-old lady body. Because
yes, I remember when I had my modeling agency, and I'm like serious, got my business, look on everything. And the people, they kept looking, and I'm like, why are they looking at me? And it's like, how old are you?
This guy broke up with me, and she's like, "Aw, okay, so about the magazine." You're going to be interviewing Miguel. And I'm like, but I'm heartbroken. You're like, but you're interviewing Miguel. He has a show. He's on his way. And that was my first time I interviewed a celebrity, was Miguel. He was on his way.
Miguel was your first one?
That was my first
one. You did it in the limo or?
He was in the limo. He was on his way to his show. And he got on the phone and we did an interview with him for your magazine. It was my first interview. And I'm here. And then as soon as he picks up, he's like, hi, hello. And I'm like, forget that boyfriend. I'm talking to Miguel. And then I'm like, hey, how are you? I was even nervous. I didn't even know what to say. It was my first interview. But it popped my cherry.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's what timing that I was on back then. I was like motivated. Yeah. Hustle and grind. Like, let's get to it. I was so excited and fearless. And now
girl, let's make this money.
Let's get to it. Yeah. So that was cool. We got a lot of stories because I had wanted to talk about like who was your favorite celebrity interactions or interviews and who wasn't. But we'll save that for another time because we 45 minutes in.
Right. And we don't want to bore y'all with all this exciting banter.
Or even compact it all and not give y'all the real juicy tea because we got a lot to talk about. But thank you guys once again for tuning in. Love you so much. My name is Artishasparkle. Follow me on Instagram. My Instagram name, all right here. Like where I'm pointing to. On the screen, Artishasparkle, Jazmin Lauren. And you can follow her on where you want them to follow you.
On Instagram. On Instagram because we don't know what TikTok we're gonna be at tomorrow. So just follow me on Instagram. But if
That
you
is
do
true.
still happen to have TikTok, you want to check it out. I think it's I'm Just Jazz, right? Because I changed my name like 10 times.
Yeah,
I'm like
she
Lee
probably
now.
changed it back again. So, but yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments or anything you guys or hot topics y'all want us to talk about, leave it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you guys. Until then,
Take care of yourself.
bye.
Bye.